themselves, and our one and only conductor, Professor Flitwick, played by Rick Davies. Now, the frogs are made by our creature effects team, and they made them into puppets so the actors can use them during the scene, and they made them out of a material called silicone to give you that real skin look. But because it's made out of silicone, it means they're really, really heavy, and the actors struggle to use them. But thanks to their long Hogwarts robes, the creature effects team were able to hide behind the robes off screen and puppeteer them for the actors so they can finish filming this scene. But if I'd like to draw your attention now to this giant costume right here, can anyone shout out who this person is? Fantastic, 10 points to all of your houses. Now, of course, Hagrid is played by the late but always will be great Robbie Coltrane, and this is not the costume he actually wore. Even though Robbie Coltrane was quite tall, standing at 6'2", he wasn't quite tall enough to play a half giant. So they had to get a size up for him, and that was the ex-England rugby player Martin Bayfield. Now, he practically was a half giant himself. He stood at 6'10", so really, really tall, and this is the costume he would have wore. They would have put stilts in his boots, padded out his costume, and given him an animatronic head that looks exactly like Robbie Coltrane, so he was able to play the half giant. And you'll see that head later on in your tour at the Creatures Workshop. But everyone, your time is great. I've almost come to an end with just a few more things before you go today.
Studio tour London, the making of Harry Potter. Now, if you would like to see an iconic special effect from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, do come on over, because I'm going to be showing you all the night bus. Now, the night bus was constructed using components from a real red double-decker bus, and we made 3 different versions of the night bus. 2 of them could actually drive, but one of them was heavier than the other to act as a counterweight for the many, many twists and turns in the streets of London. Then we made an interior set like this, which was designed by special effects supervisor John Richardson. He attached these moving gimbals to the bottom, which allows the whole set to move side to side, mimicking the erratic movement of the night bus. So who would like to see this working? A couple people? Alright, amazing, fair enough.
Take it away, Ian.
Yeah, take it away, Ernie. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Right, so the windows in the back were blue live on set, but in post-production our visual effects team will have to animate the streets of London whizzing past the bus.
What did you say your name was again?
I didn't.
Well, what about you went?
The Leaky Cauldron. That's in London.
You hear that, Ern? The Leaky Cauldron, that's in London.
The leaky cauldron. Hey, when you have the pea soup, make sure you eat it before it eats you.
Now, the chandelier is powered by something called a pneumatic actuator, which is pumping air into it in different directions, allowing it to swing all over the place. The vents are powered by an electronic.
Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, the making of Harry Potter. During our return to Azkaban feature, my name is Mel and I'm so excited to give you a special insight into one of our brand new sets. I'm of course talking about the Defense Against the Dark Arts Classroom, which was made exclusive to our return to Azkaban feature. Now, for those who are familiar with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, you would remember that the classroom did not always look like this. If you look to the screen towards my right, you can see that when Professor Quirrell was teacher of Defense Against the Dark Arts, it looked extremely different. That's because it was shot in a place called Laycock Abbey in Wiltshire. They used that location multiple times throughout the first film, especially during scenes including the Mayor of Aspell. But then when it came time to prepare for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, they knew that they had to build a new set right here at the studio to make it a lot more easy for them. Production designer Stuart Craig had the task of completely redesigning the look. He had to take two things into consideration. One, differentiating it from the other classrooms like transfiguration and potions, as well as to take the geography into consideration, so that when we go to trio are exploring past them, so are we as an audience. And by looking around, it's clear to see that this room takes place in the attic of Hogwarts, especially thanks to our timber beam, if you look above. Now, I say timber, but they're actually made out of expanding foam. So this was used because it was both light and cost effective. To make sure that we can have the classroom right here for you here today, we brought back the original filmmakers to make sure that it was as accurate and as authentic as possible. The art director even said that he had to go through 80,000 drawings to make sure that every door, every window, and every inch of the set was as identical and accurate to the original. But don't worry, we do have some screen use areas as well. For example, if you look at the stairs, as well as the pulpit leading towards the professor's office, as well as the infamous Bobby wardrobe, these were all from the original movies. As well as if you look at the costumes, these are also authentic from the films. If you look at my far left, we've got some previous professors from Defense Against the Dark Arts, including Professor Quirrell, Dolores Umbridge, and Mad-Eye Moody, aka Barton Crouch Jr. If you look above me, we've got Professor Lupin himself, played by David Thewlis, and of course to my left, we have Alan Rickman, who played, well, a bucket, dressed as Professor Snape in Neville Longbottom's grandma's dress. And you know, one of the things that you can say about the Harry Potter production team is one of the things that they prioritized was authenticity. And here's an example for you. When filming that scene, none of the young actors actually saw Rickman in the dress until they started rolling, he came out of the wardrobe, so when you hear that laughter, it's all genuine. If you look at the wardrobe itself, you can see that it is both beautiful and threatening. If you look towards the screen again, you can see that scene in which the camera pans towards the wardrobe, goes through the glass, and then the shot continues. The most impressive thing about it is, one, when the camera shakes, so do we. And secondly, this is what's referred to as a traveling through glass shot. The director of Prisoner of Azkaban, Alfonso Cuarón, was a huge fan of this particular shot, having used it several times throughout the movie. In fact, one of the most famous examples is when Harry is in the clock tower, in which the camera pans, goes through the swinging pendulum, which, by the way, you might have seen earlier on in the tour. So, if we look at the wardrobe, it is rigged with a pneumatic which causes it to shake. It also causes it to open. So, does anyone want to see a demonstration? Yeah. Amazing. I love that enthusiasm. But before we do so, I must give you an actual Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson. So, the incantation of today is ridiculous. So, when I say, I want you to repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Amazing. It's amazing. So, now I'm going to leave it to Professor Lupin. So when he says ridiculous, I want you to repeat after him the same way you just did with me. Cool?
After me. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Very good. Louder. Very good. Listen. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Amazing. As you can see, we actually don't have a book, but I hope you still enjoy learning about this rigged special effects. If you wish to learn more about rigged special effects, if you continue on with the tour,